Hello, and thank you for watching this video. My name is Morgan Vaughn, and I am a candidate for the Master of Arts in Leadership Development at Chapman University. This video represents the culmination of my 3 years in the MLD program, as well as my 6 years as a student at Chapman University. I'm excited to share with you a little bit about my time at Chapman, my experiences in the MLD, and my capstone project. My 6 years at Chapman have been filled with learning, both in and out of the classroom. I've been fortunate enough to hold 4 different jobs on campus. I was an undergraduate peer advisor for the Atala College of Educational Studies, an orientation coordinator for the orientation program, a tour guide for the Office of Admission, and most recently a residential graduate assistant for residence life and first-year experience. These jobs provided me with plenty of rich experiences to reflect on and draw from as I progressed through my classes in the higher education emphasis of the MLD program. In addition to supplementing my coursework, my student employment also supplemented my professional development as an incoming student affairs professional. I'm very lucky to have had incredible supervisors who prioritized my professional development. When it came time for me to pick a capstone topic, I knew I wanted to focus on professional development for student workers and give back to an area of campus life that I was able to benefit so much from as an undergraduate student. My capstone process began with researching college student employment and identifying relevant themes in the literature. The first theme that stood out to me was the prominence of student employment as an economic necessity. Logan, Hughes, and Logan wrote about the increase in college students holding on-campus jobs, while Solis and Long connected this increase to the increase in the cost of higher education. I found this trend in the literature fascinating, as it was very different from my own experience. I was very fortunate to have parents who financially supported me and covered the costs of my education all through my undergraduate experience, so my motivation for pursuing on-campus jobs was never a financial one. I approached each job from a desire to learn and experience what it had to offer, so it was important for me to understand that for many students, the desire to earn money precedes the desire to learn from the job, though both factors may exist. Another significant theme in the literature was the use of concepts such as high-impact practices, experiential learning, and transitioning skills. Mitola, Rinto, and Patney expanded on earlier work by Ka on high-impact practices and found that many characteristics of high-impact practices can be found in student employment. Hart Research Associates explored hard skills that can be learned through experiential learning and on-campus jobs, and Su and Chung explored similar concepts with the attainment of soft skills. Similarly, Hepner, Greenleaf, and Halstead and Lair all explored the elements of successful transition from college to professional work environments. Based on all of my research on student employment, I created Growing Leaders, a 3-part professional development plan for undergraduate student leads in Chapman's Department of Student Engagement. The program builds on and promotes Chapman Grow, which is a professional development initiative used in the Department of Student Engagement that encourages student workers to reflect on their work experiences through a series of guided questions so that they can extract learning and professional development lessons from their jobs. The first part of Growing Leaders is a training session that introduces Chapman Grow, speaks to the importance of professional development, and introduces some professional development topics such as motivation and peer leadership. The second part of Growing Leaders is a reflection guide that provides reflection questions and activities for leads to engage in throughout the year to facilitate their professional development and enhance their experience with Chapman Grow. The third part of Growing Leaders is a supervisor's guide that allows supervisors of leads to be a part of their leads' professional development journey. Through the process of creating Growing Leaders, one of my greatest key learnings was the importance of flexibility and adaptability. The 3-part deliverable I ended up with was not what I originally envisioned when I started the capstone project. I was originally going to make a professional development handbook for residence life office assistants, but a change in the capstone project format led me to a partnership with student engagement. I then planned on doing a needs assessment for Chapman Grow. However, my contact in student engagement left her position at the university after we had developed this project. Meeting and discussing with other individuals in student engagement changed the format and content of my project little by little until I eventually arrived at what I have now, which I truly believe is better than any of the previous iterations of the project would have been. I attribute my flexibility and adaptability with this project to a lesson that I learned in our democracy class from a book by Parker Palmer. His third habit of the heart, the capacity to hold tension creatively, teaches us to embrace the discomfort of challenging situations and sit with it so that it can allow us to consider new and creative perspectives. This habit of creatively holding tension helped me to complete the capstone project, but it also guided my MLD experience overall. From start to finish, my MLD journey had many twists and turns. When I was accepted into the program in my junior year of undergrad, I expected to finish the coursework in 2 years, present my capstone project at an in-person scholars forum, and walk across the stage in May of 2019. Obviously, none of that ended up happening. I never could have foreseen choosing to stay in the MLD an extra year, ending my 6 years at Chapman with half a semester of online classes, finishing my capstone project remotely from the isolation of my apartment, or sharing my story with all of you through a pre-recorded video. Even if this wasn't always the journey I was expecting, I'm glad it was the journey I ended up taking. My time in the MLD program has given me so much, and I am thankful for every experience I have had. That brings me to my last section, and debatably the most important one, my thank yous. First of all, thank you to all of the brilliant and inspiring professors who have taught me during my 6 years at Chapman. Thank you especially to the MLD faculty for shaping my graduate experience, and to Dr. Chris Hutchison for guiding me through 5 of my 10 MLD classes. Thank you to all of my current and former supervisors. As you can tell, student employment was a huge part of my Chapman experience, and I wouldn't be the student or person I am today without all of your support and guidance. Thank you to Kaylin Jennings, Mike Kaiser, Kayla Weichert, Jacqueline Dreschler, Justin Koppelman, and the Spring 2020 Student Engagement Leads for sharing your input and helping me create growing leaders. Thank you to Megan Sudakawa and Somerset Thompson for being my editor and critical friend and helping me pull off a capstone paper worthy of a master's degree. Thank you to Anna White and Ketsia Abramson for being the best accountability buddies and for providing constant support and motivation. I literally could not have gone through this experience without you. Thank you to my boyfriend, Spencer Hantula, for constantly pushing me to do my best and be my best, for reminding me to finish strong, and for providing the encouragement I needed to get through my MLD journey and especially my capstone experience. Thank you to my mom and dad, Patty and Jimmy Vaughn, for the constant love and support that got me to Chapman, through Chapman, and to where I am today. I simply wouldn't have any of this without you. And finally, thank you to all of you who have tuned in and listened to me talk about my experiences. It was a pleasure to share them with you.